Welcome back to Phillip Island International Raceway. Just completed Heat 1, Mark Skate. Boy, the whole racing championship first race win for the factory squad. That must be a good feeling.
It certainly is, Mark. I mean, we struggled yesterday in qualifying, and the car's obviously a mile better today, so we're really happy. It's good to be back in the winner's circle, obviously.
They say in motor racing the most important bloke you got to beat is your teammate. Lowndesy was right on you that whole way.
He was. I mean, it was a good race, and obviously we had a little bit of a gap to the Castrol cars, or Glenn, or whoever was in the next battle. And the deal is, Mark, that you win races by the minimum amount. That's what it's all about, and obviously the car was very good.
Congratulations and best of luck in Heat 2.
Thanks, Mark.
A great moment for Mark Skate. Now something great you can get your hands on. It's the V8 Supercars official 1998 TV guide. It goes for about $6 and you can pick it up from your local newsagent or Shell shop. It's full of all the info about the teams and the drivers and, of course, all of the action. And speaking of action, we're getting ready for race 2 here at Phillip Island. Let's have a look at the grid. And, of course, this is the way they finished from the first race. Mark Skate with that valuable win. From Craig Lowndes, Russell Ingall in for 3rd and Glenn Seaton 4th.
Out of row 2, Jason Bright and John Bowe, the 2 Fords, Larry Perkins and Jason Bargwanna out of 8th position.
We go back to 9. Tony Longhurst was absolutely wrapped with that run, and he said, wait to the next one. When I have a rear bumper on, they'll know all about that I'm going well today. Faulkner, Johnson and Larkham.
Alan Jones of the Komatsu Ford, Paul Romano, the Queensland Privateer, Mark Poole from South Australia, and Thomas Mazera, top place privateer. He starts out of 16.
He's doing well, isn't he? Back to the first of the wins cars. Darren Pate from Anthony Tratt, who got caught up in that hassle with Steve Ellery. Darren Hossack and the young guy Garth Tander, who incidentally was the car who stalled on the grid.
Record field of V8s here this weekend. Ryan McLeod in the OAMPS Insurance Falcon. Mal Rose alongside in the Commodore. 23, Steve Reed taking over from Trevor Ashby in the Lansdale car. And Rod Nash in the ex-Wayne Gardner Racing Commodore. He's out of 24.
Darcy Russell in the Castrol Cougars. Entry Melinda Price, 25 and 26. Mike Imrie and Paul Wheel.
Back toward the rear of the field now. Wayne Russell in the Union Steel Commodore. Simon Ermazidis, 31. Steve Ellery in the Young Lions Commodore. He's having a tough day, but he got taken out in that first race. 32. Danny Osborne had a big fire in the colour scan Ford.
Kevin Heffernan and Dick Johnson starting from 34th position. Unfortunately, if you missed the first race, Tony Longhurst got his rear bumper knocked off from Mark Larkham, and that flew up and smashed into Dick Johnson's windscreen. But he is back on the grid and ready to go. We are set to go. There's the man of the moment from race 1. Mark Skate in good form at the moment. Will he get another dynamite start? Away we go. It's Lowndes who's blown away on the start. He got away to a terrific start. Skate will slip into second spot. They all get away cleanly this time around. Now this is where Skate's got the inside line. He had it in the first race, but he doesn't have it this time. Lowndes will take them through.
Well, critical to get the starts right in this sort of racing. It's so close. Cars separated by hundredths of a second. Craig Lowndes just got a better launch off the row, and I guess Greg Murphy, that is so critical to this level of competition.
Well, we know how competitive it is out there, and obviously Mark Skate got the jump in the first one and held it to the lead, to the finish. Lowndesy was obviously very keen to get a good start in this one that he has done. Russell Ingall in 3rd, Glenn Seaton and John Bowe moved up a spot, 5th spot.
Well, Lowndes hasn't wasted any time in clearing out his gate.
Traffic
got a
jam.
little bit of a bumper there. Go back to Bargwanna is ahead of Longhurst, and we pick up Larry Perkins ahead of Faulkner. Stephen Johnson is there, one of them running wide. But look at this, Ingall is all over the back of Skate already.
Yeah, he's really on the attack. I spoke to Ingall after race 1. He said, mate, we just can't do anything to the car. I mean, it's just not carrying enough speed.
Look at this, Craig Lowndes special. He's just blasted away. Look at him, first lap making a big gap from the guys in 2nd and 3rd.
This is where Lowndes really is a specialist, isn't he? Cold tyres, straight out of the box, 2 laps. And he builds up his cushion. He did it all the way through 1996 with what was by far a far superior package. Now the HRT crew are much closer to the rest of the field, but he's still pulling the same start.
You know, the advantage with this is that, he's got, he can get away, get a bit of a break, and then back it off, look after the tyres. Look at Russell, he's giving Skate a real hard time.
Well, he said he couldn't get any more speed out of the car, but it's looking pretty quick in these opening laps as he tucks up behind the Mobil 1 Commodore of Mark Skate. They're shifting up to about 6th gear here. Building up to 275k. Russell Ingall looked for a way through. He's right on the back of the Mobil Commodore. Then it's Seaton. Wow. Ellery, as the field sorted himself out on this first hectic lap.
He was there.
This is classic Russell stuff.
In the first one, and now he's right there again. Russell Ingall, the in-car camera, the Sid Chrome in-car camera. He is riding all over the back of Skate. Now Seaton's back in 4th. Bowe. Then we pick up Bright Bargwanna. Watch this as we go into Honda.
After getting that broken windscreen fixed, Dick Johnson is on a charge. He's up to 20th position already after one lap. Here's where the action is, though. Ingo just gets a little lock brake on the inside as the weight comes off that tyre. But he's really aggressive here, right up behind Mark Scaven. Look at Lowndes, he did it. 1.7 seconds he opened up on his teammate in that first lap. Phenomenal stuff.
And he goes to show how good Craig Lowndes' car was in that first race. And I think he was just being held up a little bit, and he's got the advantage this time, which he really needs.
He's certainly streaking away big time. Here's Russell Ingall, hard at work in the Castrol Commodore, sitting third at the moment, and trying desperately to find a way past Mark Scafe so he can get out there and attack and chase down Craig Lowndes.
You watch Russell, he'll be diving anywhere he can, looking for a way past going into MG. Look how close he is behind the bumper of that HRT Commodore.
I'll tell you who else is looking for a way through is Jason Wright in the Pertec Ford. Bowers in there behind Seaton. They're just as close as these two guys. Back the battle for 4th and 5th. We ride now with John Bow.
And look at how quick Lowndes was running out in that fresh air with no one around him. A 1:41. One standing start, he'd be even quicker this time around. That's a much faster time than it was in the opening heat, where 1:35.18 as Lowndes flashes across the line. He's opened it up 2.3 seconds over Scafe. He is slaughtering him.
Already such a commanding lead. This is the view from John Bow's Shell Helix Ford down into the southern loop.
JB was saying he had a fair bit of an understeer in that first session. It's really not working too well, but the car seems to be working pretty good now. Is Jason Wright.
Oh, Jason
wow,
Wright.
I think he gave him a touch too.
He's been trying to get past for the last couple of laps. He always goes the outside run at Honda. Watch him here, he's climbing all over the back, and Bargwanna's there as well. So too Longhurst.
Bargwanna straight in behind JB and then hung old Brighty out to dry. Look at that. This is going to be tight.
Oh, cop that. The two old sparring partners from Formula 4s. The three JBs in a row. John Bow, Jason Bargwanna and Jason Wright.
Oh, he's right up the back of him.
Look at that.
Do you want a hand? He's giving him a hand, all right.
I'll give you a little bit more pace out of Siberia, mate. Just today I'm here. And Jason Wright in the Pertec Falcon. You can see how busy Bargwanna is. He's feeling plenty of heat. Look at that traffic jam behind him.
That was just a classic move by Jason Bargwanna. Jason Wright forced to the outside and just slotted straight up the inside.
Bargwanna's proving to be a specialist at that.
Well,
Look at Longhurst on the inside and Larry Perkins as well.
Well, I think he was giving him a bit of a hand there too.
Yeah.
You can't get any closer than this. It is
This
a
is
traffic
great stuff.
jam.
I think there's about 8 blokes who want to give each other a hand.
Longhurst was very happy with his run in the first one. He said it was a shame about the bumper.
But
He's
stayed
running
on that
well.
time.
Yeah, that's good.
So the order, Lowndes, he's opened it up 2.3. It'll probably be bigger this time. Scafe and Ingall cutting themselves up. Seaton, Bow, Bright, Bargwanna, Longhurst, Perkins, a big power train. Faulkner back in 10th position.
3.6 seconds.
Yeah.
Second a lap.
Rolling away.
He's draining him. Everyone else is running in the 36. A quick one from Seaton at 35.99. But Glenn's not getting the speed out of that Ford Credit Falcon that he wants. They're struggling to find a good balance on the car, even though it was very quick here on Wednesday. Just doesn't seem to be working well today.
Look at Lowndes, 1.3 seconds faster that lap. I mean, that's a hell of a lot.
Bow was rather Bright was frustrated trying to get past Bow. He must be extra frustrated now that Bargwanna has squeezed through exactly the same move. Look at Ingall through Honda corner, helping Mark Scafe out of there.
Well, they call him the enforcer. He's trying to put the stamp on Holden Racing Team here today. He couldn't get closer than that. Right up behind the Mobil 1 Commodore Scafe. Synchrone Proto onboard camera takes you on board with Russell Ingall, the winner at Lakeside. And he's looking very hot at Phillip Island this afternoon.
Well, this is the thing, he hasn't had to do too much enforcing lately, has he? Because he's been winning quite comfortably. Now we see him hard at work.
I think this might be a spot he's going to look down into MG corner and the hairpin here. Russell's really good under brakes, as we know, so keep an eye on that one.
Scafe was saying after race 1, they changed the setup on the car from yesterday to today. Even though the cars were a lot quicker in the warm-up, and they dialed the understeer out of the car. Now it's translated to oversteer in race condition. He's having a lot of trouble with the rear
It doesn't look
tyres.
good, actually. The car really doesn't look very settled at all. Oh, Russell.
Further back in the pack, Seaton in 4th, Bow 5th, Bargwanna, Bright, Longhurst still ahead of Perkins, and Faulkner rounding out the top 10.
So the attack continues from Russell Ingall. Look at the gap, 3.3 seconds is stabilised now between Lowndes and Scafe. Ingall right up the bumper of Scafe. Seaton sitting back there in 4th position. He's got Bow, Bargwanna, Bright behind him.
Now let's watch the back. Attack, Seaton and Bow. Are they crawling up, creeping up on these two guys? It looks like it.
It looks like also Lowndes just decided to cool it off a little bit. Dropped a second that lap, so he's got a bit of a lead and he'll probably try
He's
and
got a comfortable distance.
Oh, absolutely. So he won't be silly. Scafe down the inside.
Russell!
Whoa!
Another little tap.
That was a love one.
I don't think it would have felt like a little one from inside.
I'll tell you what, Mark Scape looked like he worked extra hard in that first one, Mark Oastler, when you spoke to him.
Yep.
Tell you what, he's working twice as hard now, trying to fend off Russell Ingall.
And it looks like Glenn Seaton's starting to catch up too, so Scapey's having a few problems out there.
Good bunch of four further back there with Bargwanna, Bright, Longhurst and Perkins.
Well, they were worried that the Dunlop runners were going to have a tyre that was a little bit too hard for Phillip Island in cool conditions, but it seems to be working pretty well here this afternoon.
Well, we've seen Russell come through in the second and third races at most meetings and show what he's really got. So it may be working this way for the Dunlop this weekend as well.
Tony Longhurst starting to size up Jason Bright. Meanwhile, Perkins sizing up Longhurst. The two Castrol cars, different manufacturers, Ford and Holden.
Just don't forget too that Ford and Holden, the old sparring partners, they came into this round at 95 Australian Touring Car Championship wins apiece. So this is where it really comes down to the crunch. One of these two manufacturers is going to go ahead on the point score. And all the boys are out there fighting for their brands. Look at this great battle now. Scape, Ingall, Seaton. This is Mark Larkham in the Marta 10 Ford. A little bit further back in this top 10. And Ingall continues to apply the thumb screws to Mark Scape, but Scape equal to the task, holding him out very effectively with the car. Looks like it may be struggling for a little bit of rear end grip.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? As much as we talk about Ingall throwing everything at Scape, Scape's handling it and going on with it. This is an interesting threesome here. Bargwanna's been able to just get out a little bit as Longhurst looks on the inside of Bright. Couldn't get it. He's giving him a touch
Give
up.
him a touch, all right. Now, I think Brighty must have had a bit of a problem there because he lost a lot of ground on Bargwanna.
Faulkner's looking to get him involved. Longhurst saying he wanted to come into V8 Supercars, son. This is what it's all about.
Now he's got Larry Perkins on the inside. He took advantage of that slow exit out of Siberia. Three of them climbing all over each other. John Faulkner now, he wants a slice of the action.
And Larkham.
Mark Larkham's coming in too. Paul Romano's up there, and Alan Jones in the Komatsu Ford is just at the back of this pack. Phenomenal stuff.
This is the closest race we have seen in some time. Look at Longhurst in the mirror. He's looking where Larry was. He kept a defensive inside line. Faulkner in the better electrical. Fisher of Paykel, Commodore, he's there. So too is Larkham.
I think
in the Minor 10 Ford.
Longhurst is going to need another rear bumper after this one. Larry's giving a bit of a serve up there.
You see a bit of battle damage on the front of Jason Bright's Pertec Ford. That was from that run up the back of, I think it might have been, who was he muscling? Jason Bargwanna.
Yeah. Look at the gap that he's lost to Jason over just that little tussle that those guys have been having.
Yeah.
He's really got away.
Lap 7 of 12.
Now
He's
he's
a
just
little over halfway.
holding the gap there at 4 seconds now, so
Yeah.
very comfortable.
He's put in another quick one too, a 1:36.28. Pumped it out to just under 4 seconds.
Welcome back to Phillip Island. Well, here he is, Craig Lowndes, the 23-year-old who is just cruising away. The gap last time round was almost up to 4 seconds. We'll see how it is this time. He got the jump. He went away from his teammate Mark Scape and hasn't looked back and is heading for his second race win in terms of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship here at Phillip Island.
I think we almost sort of forgot about Craig at Lakeside. I mean, he did a great job finishing fourth. The car was not good, and now he's just back on top. The car's working a lot better this weekend, and you know, it was a great start. You can see what he's done, just pulled out that gap, and now holding it just nicely.
Yeah, but at Lakeside, everyone was saying, oh, Lowndes, what a disastrous day. He had a 6th, a 4th, and a 4th. It wasn't too bad. It was championship winning stuff, because all he did is concentrated on getting the points, and he didn't crash the car. He walked away with plenty of points, and in fact increased his championship lead.
Well, Scapey's really responded to this attack from Ingall. He was all over it a few laps ago. He's just opened up a little bit of a gap. Got 5 laps remaining in this heat 2 of round 4 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. So just this gap, like a concertina, just opens and closes gradually. There's barely time between them. Sid Chrome onboard camera shows you the action as Ingall tries to close the gap to Mark Scape. He's got Glenn Seaton behind him and closing all the time.
You can see how wide Mark went into Siberia that time. He's just trying to get the car right. I mean, he's getting a really good line out, but going obviously very slow in, and which allows Russell to catch up on the line that he's taking. So, you know, Mark's trying to drive around the problems that he's got, and he's doing a fantastic job, really, considering, you know, I think he has got a few problems.
Keeping it nice and steady as Glenn Seaton, the reigning Australian Touring Car champ, in 4th. That's where he finished in race 1. Doesn't appear to be able to bridge that gap to Russell Ingall. So it's Holden's 1, 2 and 3. This is the battle in the privateers, though. Thomas Mazira, 17th outright. He is leading the way from Steve Reed and Paul Wheel. That's good to see the 18-year-old youngster up there.
That's a pretty outstanding performance from the privateers. They're right at the back of the level 1 pack. When you think of the Yokohama control tyre, some of the experienced drivers say it's probably costing them 0.6 to a second in terms of tyre performance. So to be nipping at the back of the level 1 field is really good.
This is the helmet, camera mounted on the left-hand side of Glenn Seaton's helmet. Bridgestone, can we call it helmet cam?
Helmet cam, yeah.
Up front, that's for sure.
He'd be seeing every little move and twitch there amongst Scaife and Ingle as they fight for second position. Craig Lowndes, 3.1 seconds the gap over his teammates, so that gap just remaining a little bit rubbery. And there is the camera unit, if you didn't see it in Heat 1, that little lipstick camera recorder stuck to the side of Glenn's helmet, so you can see what you're seeing out of the front is exactly on Glenn's eye line.
Will be a little bit disappointed, I'd say, with the performance so far. Obviously, after his qualifying effort and then how much speed the car had on yesterday, early in the day, you know, he's probably not where he wants to be, that's for sure, or expected to be.
This is a brand new car that they tested here at Phillip Island last Wednesday. They asked him how much different it is to his old one. He's, well, not a great deal, I guess, if you look in terms of the time, but a new car always feels much better, doesn't it? Mark Scaife and Russell Ingall still battling it out for second and third. Ingall hasn't been able to make any impression on Scaife. 3 laps remaining. That's all the time that he has. John Bowe, the 18 Shell Helix Ford, well placed in 5th, but the battle goes on, and Bright has caught up a huge amount of ground. There's the Triple M telemetry. That is on board Bowe's car, but just in behind him, have a look top of screen. There it is. The Valvoline Cummins Commodore and the Pertec Ford. The 2 youngsters at it again.
I'm back. He's back.
Look at this.
Oh, here we go.
Right up the inside. Bang, bang.
You fixed me up earlier. There's one
payback
back.
time. Payback time.
I think that's called the short back and sides.
And Bargwan has lost another spot to boot.
Yeah, well, Jason Bright, boy, once he got a sniff of that, he was right in and past before Jason Bargwan knew what hit him. And he's found himself, he lost another position to Longhurst. So there is Bright, a little bit of battle damage on the front of the Pertec Falcon. There's been plenty of muscling and elbowing going on in Heat 2. Just shows how close and competitive the racing is amongst the pack. There's barely 100th of a second between the cars.
A fair bit of damage on the front there, isn't there?
Yeah.
I was talking in the first race about how Bright is suffering from bad back pain. It's got to the stage where it's hurting him to even take a deep breath. And he doesn't know how it happened. He just woke up with it this morning. So he's battling on. Under those circumstances, he's doing exceptionally well.
Well, this track being so physical also, I mean, to hang on to one of these V8s around here is exceptionally hard. And if he's in pain, sort of just breathing, I can imagine how much pain he's in driving that car right now.
Longhurst
Yeah.
tucked in behind. Let's see if Bargwana can make any impression. Time is running out, though.
So Lowndes, 3.2 seconds. He's maintained that gap throughout race distance. Scaife still in second position. Ingle in third. Seaton back and forth. Then it's Bowe in fifth. Bright, you see on screen now, he's got Longhurst up behind them. Bargwana back to 8th. Perkins in 9th, second of the Castrol Commodores. And John Faulkner, the better electrical car, he rounds out the top 10.
Bargwana 8th. That's where he finished in the first race.
Oh, look how close Ingle was coming through Honda Loop that time. There he is, our Bridgestone driver profile, Jason Bright, 25 years of age from Queensland. First race back in 1988, a rookie in V8s this year, but what an impressive start. Very fast throughout qualifying at the 4 tracks we've visited so far. Best grid position, 3rd, and that's an outstanding effort for the rookie. Stone Brothers Racing really making a big impact in 1998.
For those who don't know, we were talking about the 2 young guys before, Bright and Bargwana. They're old sparring partners from a category called Formula Holden, where they finished 1 and 2 in the championship last year, Bright's way.
And Formula Ford before that.
Ford too, yeah, and they opened a lot of eyes in terms of this category. Bright stepped into the car with Alan Jones last year and finished 3rd at the Tickford 500 at Sandown. Gained a lot of credibility. Now he's mixing it with the big boys.
So Larry Perkins got John Faulkner right behind him. Mark Larkham at the Mitre 10 Ford. 1 more lap for our race leader, Craig Lowndes. He's grinding this field. right down to a pulp. Just did it so easy. And it's, I guess, Murphy, when you look at his first run on cold tyres, that first 4.4 kilometres, so critical.
Oh, extremely critical. And you've got to be very careful too, because you've got the one warm-up left to get some temperature into these tyres. And then you've got to sprint off the line, and that was a good effort.
At the back of that group, guys, someone who was driven very sensibly today was Paul Romano. He's sitting there, I think, in 12th position, maybe. Finished, I think, in that same position further back. He finished 14th in the first one. He's up there again. On-board shot from Sid Chrome Proto. Mark Scape just wide. Ingle might have an inside shot here. No, brings it across.
Oh.
You see the eyes on Ingle? Here's an opportunity.
There's a hole, get in it.
So we're on our way home, final lap. This is the corner they call Siberia. Ingle has been trying the whole 11 and a half laps. He hasn't been able to get past Mark Scape, so it looks pretty sure to be another HRT 1-2.
But I've got to say, this is an outstanding performance for Dunlop. They don't have a factory team that tests down here. It's the first time the company has actually had a full tyre development program. Oh, looked like he was going to have a look down the inside, a real dive down the inside, but not quite close enough.
Craig Lowndes is back right off to...
I was going to say, it's the first time Dunlop's had a proper tyre development program since the Kobe earthquake brought the factory down in 1995. And you can really see the consistency is starting to come back into their teams.
Oh, here we go, onto the Wayne Gardner main straight, and it is Craig Lowndes who will pick up his second win here at Phillip Island, his first for today, and his teammate Mark Scape will get in for second, quite comfortably, in fact, over Castrol's Russell Ingle. So a great run again for HRT, 1-2, however this time in the reverse order.
Well, they've only got one more heat to go, but this seems to be turning around the bogey circuit. The Holden Racing team, last 3 years, they've done an enormous amount of damage to equipment, but everything seems to be going to plan in 1998.
Well, he made that look pretty easy, didn't he?
Very easy. Interesting when we were doing the start of the show, Greg, and saying, well, everybody's tipping Glenn to be the favourite. Just hasn't worked out that way.
Well, I think it's gone to show again, just getting off that line, off the start line, and how important it is. And he did a great job. Obviously, I think Mark Scape had the car's not quite as good as Craig's today, and Craig used it to perfection.
Thomas Mazzera flashing across the line once again, the top privateer. He's having a great day, but I don't think he was too far ahead of Steve Reed. No, there's Steve in the Lansvale auto colour car, but Thomas is the man.
Well, Thomas tells me that this is the last race he will do as a privateer, and he'll come back in the strength of the new car at Oran Park.
Should be good. The Shell Helix race score, your final positions. Another HRT 1-2, Craig Lowndes and Mark Scape in the Mobil 1 Commodores. Russell Ingle and Glenn Seat, then John Bow in for 5th. We look back, a great effort. He fought back Jason Bright, I'm talking about, in the Pertec Ford, ahead of Longhurst, 2 positions better than his first race. Tony just keeps on getting better. Bargwana forced back to 8th. Perkins and Faulkner rounding out the top 10. We go back to Larkham and Romano. They were having a good battle towards the end. AJ, Alan Jones in for 13th. From Dick Johnson all the way up from 34th to 14th. That's a great effort. And the young fella, Garth Tander, in for 15th.